this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. I woke up this morning with my mind.
Hello, hey everyone. Good morning to you. This is Joey Sparks. This is your reminder. God's mercies are new. Once again this morning, Jesus is better. He's better even than Moses. Moses was faithful. Moses was a leader and a servant. When you get to chapter 11 of Hebrews, we're going to find multiple things that Moses did by faith and that God blessed. Chapter 3, we find that Moses is complimented. Moses was faithful, and he was faithful as a servant for, to quote, the house of God, the work of God, the people of God. But Jesus is better. See, Jesus is not only a servant, not only one who works or leads within the house of God, but Jesus is the Son. And it's that relationship and that designation that gives Jesus his greatness. Chapter 3, now Moses was faithful in all God's house as a servant to testify to the things that were to be spoken later. So Moses was great, he was a servant, and he's pointing forward to something. What was that something? Who is that something? Verse 6. Christ is faithful over God's house as a son. And we are his house, if indeed we'd hold fast to our confidence and our boasting in our hope. So because Jesus is the Son and is given greater access, greater authority, greater privilege than a servant, you follow him. You don't follow the servant. Moses was great, but Jesus is greater. This is a reminder as we go through this that the plea for the Hebrews writer was not to go back into Judaism. But you'll notice that in making this construction, he doesn't just go about tearing down Judaism and saying that it's worthless or it never served a purpose. What he's doing is saying that God built this law, this previous system, in order to ultimately introduce you to Christ, his Son. So that makes it superior, and it makes the thing that came inferior. Inferior for living your life by it. But it is of still some value. So we would do well, since we are not directly tempted to go back to Judaism like they would have been in the first century. Think about it, that God gave the people of Israel, something great in the law. And even still, he gives us something greater in Christ. So classically, it's called the argument from the lesser to the greater. That's true. When you've only got two, you've got a lesser and a greater. But it also, in other respects, is from the great to the greater that we see here in Christ. We thank you so much for your time. It is a joy to spend these moments with you each morning. It's our prayer that God's timeless word will be your meditation all day long today.
I woke up this morning